for following this coast-to-coast loop across Central Florida. I've received very helpful feedback from many of you who'd like to see more of this and less of this. Unfortunately, I realized during the editing process later that I recorded more of this and less of this. So on future 50/50 rides, I'll be mindful to share more trail-facing content. In any case, after the weather on day 5, I decided to alter my route slightly in order to finish in 7 days. This extended episode wraps up this 50/50 ride, and there's a greater percentage of this as you watch the exciting finish.
Well, good morning. As predicted, it got cold overnight, 37 degrees to start this morning with a wind out of the north, so I'll be fighting the winds head on today. I can just think of Jocko Willink, good. That's my theme for the day, good. Heading northeast today to Four Lake Campground. All right, it's just about time to head out into the cold. Of course, the sunrise temperature always drops a little bit, so it went from 37 to 35. And so that's where we are, 35 degrees. I'm literally going to be wearing every bit of cycling kit I own today, or brought with me. And in a hope of staying warm. So we'll see how it goes, but you know, again, in the words of Jocko Willink, the theme for today is good. It's gonna be cold, good. It's gonna be freezing, good. At least I won't be wet.
At 47 miles, the Withlacoochee State Trail is one of the longest paved rail trails in Florida. The trail corridor traverses 3 counties, Citrus, Hernando, and Pasco, offering an enjoyable, varied journey as it runs through small towns, ranches, and 6 distinct natural communities between Citrus Springs and Dade City. Officially designated as part of the Florida Greenways and Trail System, this state trail is also designated as a National Recreation Trail. It offers rich opportunities for viewing plants and wildlife and provides access to many outstanding recreational opportunities.
My watch says it's 38 degrees. That's about right. 7.5 miles into this ice ride. So far so good. It's cold, not gonna lie. I learned a trick that I think only bike packers can do, because roadies, I don't think could do this. At least I could never do it when I was doing triathlon and conventional cycling. The thing that gets your hands is the wind. On a trip like this, obviously I can't bring every piece of gear I own for a day like today, so I've got my gloves, right? But you can hide them on the handlebar behind the handlebar pack to shield it from the wind. I need my bike packer tribe to show up, give me some alternate solutions. I mean, to be honest, yesterday was 75. Today is 38. It's supposed to warm up to a balmy 54 today, so I'm cheering for that. I'm stopping at Walmart. Pro tip, this is kind of cool. I mean, I'm old school, right? I go to the grocery stores to pick things out myself, shop, stand in line. I mean, who knew that you could actually, you're all gonna laugh, but who knew that you could actually order online, reserve a time window at Walmart Supercenter. By the way, they're not sponsoring this video. And I can roll up to the Supercenter and have them bring it out to me on the bike. That's kind of cool. So I've got hot hands waiting on me when I get to Ocala. So that'll be cool. And a couple of more camping freeze-dried meals. In the Army, we call those MREs. Now they sell them at a premium for outdoors people. That'll suit me just fine when I get to camp. I'm gonna be pushing the envelope. It's gonna be doing the math. I mean, I got a buffer, but I got a hump to get there by sunset. We'll see. It's always we'll see, right? Do the best you can. Just keep pedaling. Whew. Well, it's warmed up to 41 and I'm literally frozen. First stop of the day, I'm just trying to get feeling back in my extremities. But I just wanted to show you this. I've stopped along this real beautiful spot here, Withlacoochee River watershed. And mainly I wanted to get into a somewhat of a warm spot. And here it is, real peaceful, quiet, and just trying to warm up. Whew. Definitely into the wind today. So after a frigid morning on the bike, I reached the Walmart Supercenter in South Ocala to thaw, eat some lunch, and resupply. Well, here I am waiting at Walmart for my order. I'm a little early, so can't check in until your time. So what I decided to do instead was make some lunch. Boiled up some water, making some lunch, and it tastes so good. It tastes so good. Because it's freezing out here. This morning it was so cold. But look, mountain house, boiled it all up. That is so good. I figure it's better than just sitting here waiting for a half hour. Make use of my time. Have some lunch. All good. I tell you, it's so dry and my skin is cracked. My face is cracked. It's awesome though. This is awesome. Doing hard things so that you appreciate what you have. It's good. All good so far. And here we are, all packed up, ready to go, cleaned up. Take my little trash. I got my stash. Got my resupply all finished. Got the resupply all finished. And saying goodbye to Walmart for now. It's a great service. It worked out well. This is one of the most beautiful stretches of trail, I believe, in Florida. It's definitely top 5. The Santos Trail. And I came out of my Walmart resupply mission and hopped onto the trail here. And it's about a 17-mile stretch of paved trail, and it's just pristine, pristine. And you can camp here at the end, the trailhead, which I tried to do. We've camped here several times in our RV, and every time we camp here, I see the primitive sites, and so I said, well, hey, I'll be able to kind of roll through and camp and be on my way. So I called yesterday and said, hey, I need a primitive site. Oh, no, we don't do that. You got to get a regular site. And of course, this time of year, January, they're completely sold out. They did have some cancellations, but not for tonight. It turned out that weather yesterday allowed me to do some planning. So here's the planning. So today is a 70-mile day that takes me to National Forest Land, 4 Lake campground. I had to alter the route to get there, and then that puts me in position for a 70-mile day tomorrow. But as I'm doing the math, that puts me short of 500. So yesterday I was thinking, because of the weather, I don't have and camping here at Santos, that would have put me 8 days. Well, because Santos didn't have any camping, and I'm gonna alter the route and go to 4 Lake, that puts me in position to finish in 7 days, but about 20 miles short. So it's fine. Don't get the full 500, 480, 7 days. We'll see what happens. But it's probably the best scenario given the falling temperatures, and the temperatures are gonna stick. You know, they're gonna be in the 30s every night all along the route. So I camp in the 30s one night versus 2. Just trying to break camp takes about an hour and a half just to get everything packed up tight back onto this bike. You can't just throw it in the back of a pickup truck and take off. It's gotta go very, very tight back into these bags. And to do that takes a minute. So that's where we're at now. Just, again, building resilience. This is the physical and mental resilience of what I'm doing, and certainly has picked on my ego for sure. I'm starting to hear I-75, which is the land bridge. And I know I'm close to the land bridge because I just started climbing the steep turn up to the land bridge that takes you over 75. I'll show you that when we get there. Here it is. It's a pretty cool little stop. Let me face north because of shadows. There we are. Everybody's moving out. Pretty cool though.
The Santos Trail includes a 15-mile paved segment in addition to 80-plus miles of single-track, diverse bike trails for beginners as well as expert-level trails that will challenge even the most elite riders. The trail has restrooms, potable water, a bike wash rack, and several picnic pavilions. There are also several bike shops located very close to the trailhead for needed supplies, repairs, or refreshments. The trailhead and campground are located just west off US 441 and southeast 80th Street between Ocala and Bellevue, across from the Marion County Sheriff's Santos Station. The last section of the day headed northeast along the boundary of Silver Springs State Park until I reached 4 Lake Campground, which is part of the National Forest Service.
Ooh, well, made it to camp. That's where I'm going to be on this cold night. So, it's time to set up real fast. Well, I gotta camp a little bit more presentable. Improve the foxhole a little bit. Got the jet boil ready. Got my dinner and breakfast ready to go. Long day of riding. Trying to take advantage of a little daylight left to get cycling kit dried out a little bit. And the sun is still in the air, but as soon as it goes down, it's gonna get chilly. And yes, we're in bear country, so we got a bear locker. Last time I went through the Ocala National Forest, I saw a black bear. He was about 100 yards in front of me, running across the path. Not a big deal, just stay out of their way. Anyway, yeah, we've got water, good to go. That's trash, bear-proof trash, and getting ready to head down to the bathhouse, check that out a little bit, and then start getting ready for dinner. And it's 5 o'clock, it's early, but hunker down inside to get warm, because you don't get to carry firewood on a bike. We do that in an RV all the time, but not on a bike. Anyway, it's all good. There's nobody here, must be cold. Good morning. I'm in the Ocala National Forest, and it's 33 degrees this morning, and it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I slept okay, not great, but today's the last day. I've got 71 miles to get to the house, finish up this ride. So weather looks good. It's going to be cold all day again, so I'm going to literally wear everything. I think the challenging part's going to get packed up. The challenging part is going to be to get packed up in all of this cold weather. Got my hand warmers so that I have the dexterity to pack everything tight. Yeah, I'm tired. Not gonna lie. It's been a good ride though. Set timer for 3 minutes. This is the best part of the day. French press coffee in a jet boil. So a couple reflections on this ride. I think the first thing I would say is we can plan just about anything we want to do in life, but something's going to go wrong. You have to know that. You have to know that not everything is going to go your way. I think too often we judge how we're doing in life by how things are going in our life. I can say for me that some of the best times in my life happened when things went wrong. And so something happened on this trip. I didn't get it on camera, it happened so fast. But I was on US 19, and I think I filmed the part where the Pinellas County Trail was closed. I filmed the part where the Pinellas County Trail was closed. I tried twice to catch the Pinellas County Trail further up the road. I was getting frustrated because it wasn't working, and I didn't really want to ride that much of US 19 at that part of US 19, just because of the traffic and all the stoplights, and I'd rather have ridden the trail. Once I resigned to the fact that I had to get back to US 19, I got to the intersection. For any of you who've been to that part, US 19 and that part of Florida, just north of Tarpon Springs. It's busy, the intersections are busy, and lots of traffic, and you got to be on your toes. So there were a couple people at the intersection. I was paying attention to the light because as a cyclist, I don't like to hold up car traffic. So as soon as that light turns green, the green arrow, I want to get out in the intersection and turn left and get into the bike lane. Arrow turns green. I'm 2 pedal strokes into the intersection, and the lady at the intersection on a bicycle says, "Do you know how to get a chain on a bike?" And so I immediately stop, turn around, go back to see what's going on, and it turns out her chain was on. It turns out she had a bigger problem. She had a free hub body that had stripped, and the bearing needed to be replaced, and so it was freewheeling basically, front and back. It was an old bike, and I explained that to her. And anyway, so I had been keeping a little bit of money in my wallet just for this occasion that wasn't mine. I just said it was mine, but I made it to where it wasn't mine. I said this money is going to be set aside to give to somebody in need. And so at that moment I said, "Hey, I'm sorry I can't fix your bike. You're going to have to take it to a bike shop, but you know, God wants you to have this. He wants to bless you today, and so here it is." And so I gave her the small bit of money, and she was so thankful. She was really thankful that I'd done that, but you could just see she was obviously still stressed about the bike, but she in that moment was very appreciative of and gracious. And that moment would have never happened had I been able to take the Pinellas County Trail. In fact, I got stopped twice, just turned around. In 30 seconds in either direction, she wouldn't have been there. And so at that very moment, things that went wrong for me turned out to go very right. So that's a very big reflection on this ride that, and I pass along to you, that you think about things that you really want to go right for you, and you get frustrated when they're not going as you plan them. Just know that may be exactly how it's supposed to happen to you, and something better might happen because things went wrong. So I just offer that to you. It's happened to me many times, and I've had people tell me on these videos that I don't get too excited. I do sometimes, for sure, get excited, but what I've learned is I try not to take the highs high and the lows low. I just ride the wave, because the highs are going to go away, the lows are going to go away. You just have to stay in the moment and just ride the wave. And I find that makes these rides that much more successful and satisfying. So this was what happens when you get greedy on the last day. You come to a stop and you gotta reassess. I know better. I said, "Oh, I got 50mm tires, it'll be no problem." It's a problem. So we gotta take a look at the map. It says I can get to 88 Road from here, but it's gonna be a hike-a-bike. I don't know. We will see. take some layers off right now though. Ooh. Well, sometimes the only way out is through, and this is through. That shortcut I tried to take was hike-a-bike, came to this better fire road, and it's not great. It's not paved like my original route, but it's a little shorter, but slow. And at least I'm not walking, but it is pretty. Whoa, coming up on the end of the gravel stretch here. This will be the end of unpaved for this trip. maybe just a small sector going into Buckman Lock. But this is essentially this was a big one right here. And it's been into the wind and up and down, up and down. Lots of rollers. Every time I ride this stretch, it's like, it just feels like it's never gonna end. It's about 17 miles of bumpy gravel and lots of rollers, and on a 70-pound bike, it's like, Anyway, figured I'd give you one last look before we head back onto the pavement. All right, we're coming in the south side of the lock, and this is just a short gravel stretch that brings you into the lock, through the gate, across the lock, and then we're paved the rest of the way. Sort of feels like Paris-Roubaix, you know, like getting done the hard sectors and get to ride pavement in. It's a really pretty stretch. And just like that, we are across the lock. That's one last obstacle down. That's always a kind of an unknown, you know, with the combination lock and the getting through the fence. Are they open? And I called ahead, confirmed the combination, and it was easy. That was easy. Well, got through Palatka in my last rest stop of the trip. Got 25 miles to go to the end. And still chilly. I got a headwind the rest of the way pretty much. Headwind, crosswind. But you know what? Just gonna enjoy it. I mean, we've got probably get there. I get there an hour before sunset, so that's good. My fear was especially with that snafu in going across the intersection here. Especially with that delay in the Ocala National Forest, I thought I might have to finish in the dark, and I didn't want to do that. To go over the 312 bridge and lots of traffic in St. Augustine with nights of lights this time of year, and I'd rather just go over in the daytime. Anyway, back on familiar territory here. I know this stuff, I know it well. Our group rides for North Florida Bicycle Club. We ride this every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. Just, Florida man's got some of the best trails for road riding. If you haven't checked them out, you need to. You can ride a long time on trails. And they're all over. Just look them up. Put your search skills to work. Tons and tons of trails. Well, that's it. That's it. We're done. I feel a sense of gratitude. But more than that, I feel a sense of provision and abundance on my life. That I can do this at this age and share this journey with you. That gives me joy. So, lots to share, and lots coming up. So glad you joined today and for this whole trip around Central Florida. Thank you. Get out and do something hard.